What's good? What's good, YouTube, man? You know what I mean? West Oakland's finest, Michael Scarry on here, man, and the Ghost Regime Network, man. You know what I'm saying? With my brother Z's, man, and honorable one of the West Coast's finest beat. Well, my brother Nutty P. How would you describe yourself? A beat maker, engineer? No, how would you describe your genre, my brother?
Man, I'm just a brother that just like to give good music to people. That's all.
For sure. So give us a background on just to get right to it on who you are, where you from, and which what's your gift, my brother.
Well, I'm a music producer, songwriter, and engineer, coming straight from Los Angeles, California.
Okay. How long have you been into when did you first started getting into music?
Well, I've always been into music. My dad used to play records when we was little kids, from Al Green to fucking Perry Como to Johnny Mathis to whatever it was, Stevie Wonder, whatever it may be. So I've always had um, music somewhat in my life. Um, and so it's always been a big part. I've always loved music, and even when from even when I was a little kid, when my parents used to make me go to sleep, I used to be up late at night doing pause mixtapes, listening to the radio and making mixes from uh from the radio station and bringing them to school and stuff. So I've always been into music.
That's what's up. That's what's up. How old are you? How old are you, bro?
Shit, man, I'm 52, still running with these young cats out there, man.
Brother, 52 been in it, man. So how many years has it been since you been in it?
Shit, since 1994, man. I was
19,
24.
1994, man. You know what I'm saying? That and so that's what roughly 28, uh,
Yep.
28 years somewhere up in there. 28 years in the business, man. So
Yeah,
okay,
man.
so who was the first person? Like when did you know that like beat making was your tenor? Like this was you. Like this is something I want to make a career out of.
Um, actually, actually, it came by accident. Um, because originally, um, I was a rapper, and I was a part of this crew. We were signed back in '94, um, and we was kind of more like on some Wu
What's the
Tang Clan type shit,
what's the
but
name of it? Who was they?
I was more like a I was more like a backpack rapper, you know. I would
Okay.
say something like how Kanye is, and so I was more like a backpack rapper, and it was like um, one of the cats in the group. He used to always produce the kind of beats that I like, but he would never give me any beats. So I had asked my two homies how to show me how to use the MPC, and within a month I was already making my own beats, and
Mm,
so then one day I wasn't there. Dude erased all the beats that I had created, and when I got there, I was like, "What's up? Why is nothing coming up?" And I knew it was him because he the only one that knew that I wanted beats from him, but he would never give it to me. At that point, I stepped away from the group, and I had within 6 months of me leaving the group, I had did my first project, which was Caution with Ice Cube, and I worked that project.
okay. Okay. How would so just for clarity, what was the name of the group you was in?
Caution, that was
I'm talking
Gonzo.
about no, no, I know what Caution is. I'm talking about the rap
Oh,
group you was in.
oh, we was called Law Lethal Assault Weapons.
Okay. It so how many projects did y'all do together?
Um, well, I was only with them on the first project, and after that first project, I left. I don't know how many they did after that, but the
Okay.
first one, yeah.
Is any who was the other people in the group?
Um, it was my boy Bush, Ambush, the assassin, my boy Six, my boy War, Executioner, uh, my boy Slick, Fright Night, um, Walt, and it was like the person who hated on me. I don't even remember their name, but yeah, it was we was like thick. We was like how the Wu Tang was. We had a thick crew.
Okay. So when you left that group, you say you hooked up with Ice Cube, Caution with Gonzo and them. How was that experience? Like how did you connect with Cube with Ice Cube?
Well, I had hooked up with him through a cat named Trent Ashbury. He was my manager at the time, and he just took a liking to me, and he was like, he had looked out for me and was like, I want to manage you. I see you got something, you got a talent, and at that time he had told me about Caution, but they was still in high school. They was all at Dorsey, and so it was Marcellus Selmack. His brother had brought the demo tape to my manager, so he ended up liking him and started managing him. And then he ended up shooting it to Cube. Cube liked it, and then we got with them. And then working with them was cool. Gonzo was a hard worker. He was always grinding. Even trying to learn how to make beats at that time when he was just supposed to be writing lyrics. Um, their main producer was Kato, and me and Kato worked on a lot of stuff. And they had good ethics. They had real good
Hmm.
ethics and putting their shit together.
Hmm. How how Gonzo was? I knew Gonzo pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? No, rest in peace to Gonzo, man. But what was
Exactly.
your experience like working with Gonzo, though?
Um, Me and Gonzo was like big brother, little brother. We get into it, you know, and we have moments where we get into it, then we squash it. But it was
Hmm.
all love, It wasn't no blows or nothing like that. But we just had little arguments and stuff. You know how Gonzo be, he mouthy.
Right.
So,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
so
Definitely.
but it was always love.
For sure, for sure. Um, so after that, who else have you worked with in like far as making beats? You know what I mean?
Um, I've worked with this cat named Roscoe Molly. Actually, I did a remix with him with that. It was with E40 and Bobby Valentino called "Live It Up." I've worked with Karen Wheeler from Soul to Soul. If you remember, that's the lady who was singing at the beginning of Belly. That
Okay,
however you want it.
steady. Oh, you
Yeah,
ready?
I've,
That was
I've
her.
worked with. Yeah, nah, yeah, that was her
Okay,
singing. Yeah.
okay,
Um, I've worked with the baby. I've worked with um on the jazz side. I've worked with Boney James. I've worked with I don't know if you remember a cat named Mad Head. I don't know if you ever seen the Beavis and Butthead
yeah,
cartoon.
yep.
The movie that they had when they had that song "Pimpin' Ain't Easy." Um,
No,
yeah, if you look at the movie, it was on there. It was a brother by the name of Mad Head, rest in peace. Numerous other artists. Um, some artists I work with, but I ain't gonna mention no names because it was some BS behind that situation.
okay, okay. For sure. We ain't,
Yeah,
we ain't, we ain't gonna
yeah,
promote the fuckery,
yeah,
man.
exactly, man.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
straight up. Um, So you, I mean, 28 years, man. That's a that's an accomplishment, man. For a lot, most people be lucky if they make it 28 days, 28 weeks, or 28 months.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm
definitely.
saying? So 28 years, man.
Yeah,
What's
and
your
I feel,
drive like? What's your ethic like? What keeps you at it, man? Is it?
man, it's just the love for the music, man. The love for the music, and what keeps me motivated is just the young cats. A lot of people feel that the old heads be hating a lot of you young cats, but that just be the ones that be bitter. Unlike me, I love, reaching out to the young cats because, the young cats showed me how to get myself together to have some longevity in this game. Like, I'll play something, they be like, hey, Nat, them drums don't sound right. Mix them drums up like this, do a little something like that, and then they be like, all right, your shit sounds straight now. So, it's a
Mhm.
respect. I give y'all respect and I get the respect back. So, I think that's one of the major things that keeps me in the game, just the being around the young cats, and
For
keep me
sure,
motivated and also keep my skills up, know how to interact with the younger generation as well.
for sure, for sure.
Right. So
Yeah.
Nutty P, man, you spoke about drums, right? This is
Yeah.
Leads, by the way. Yeah. So
What's up?
spoke about drums. How important is live instrumentation in the production world?
I think it's very important. I think that's where it's lacking now. Everybody's quick to just go the digital route, but sometimes those live instrumentations just make that shit sound so much better, so much thicker, and give you a better quality of sound. Now, I mean, the digital, it could get close to it, but it ain't gonna give you that sufficient that live sound do. It's a lot of people, you might think that they're using the digital, but they're using a lot of live instrumentation. It's nothing like it. I mean, if I had the access to use it all the time, I would. To me, it just feels better with me.
Right. So okay. So you talked about the young guys giving you tips, and I'm pretty sure you go ahead and fair exchange with them and get them some tips that they might not have been able to acquire because you got that experience. Correct? Could you touch on
Yeah.
some of those tips?
Oh well, one of the tips I always tell cats is don't ever overproduce your song. Because when you overproduce it, sometimes you drive artists away because it's not giving them no room to put their own spin on what they want to do with the track. I see a lot of artists, a lot of producers try to do too much. Like, oh, I gotta add this and I gotta add that. Nah, let it be open. Let them do their thing, and then when they finish doing their thing, you just come back and just sprinkle it around from what they did. So you're giving them an opportunity to shine on what they need to put out, what they feeling. Because when you do too much, it makes them push away. And I've learned that mistake before, so that's why I try to tell them that.
Mm.
Right. And I heard like some of the great producers, Jermaine Dupri and these different Quincy Jones, and they talk about that exact thing. So I know you telling the truth. It was a story. I think one of the Usher songs where it was a complete song. It got brought to him, and it dude had wind and it chimes, all types of stuff. He started take this out, yeah, take that out, strip the beat down to where it actually is much more simple, and it seems like it allows, like you said, the artist to be more expressive on the track. So yeah, that's right.
Um, that was a damn good question you asked him too. It's a lot that goes into a beat itself. Can you expound on that? Like people like as fans, we listen to be like, damn, that's a rise beat, but we don't understand all the elements that goes into it. What can you expound on the elements that goes into making a beat?
Well, I mean, all producers have their own way of putting a track together. Me myself, I go by the vibe. If I feel that I want to have something a certain way, I might start with drums first, I might start with strings first. I might start with keys, but the, all of the elements is important because I might start with the drums and the drum might sit a certain way. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, I see how these drums are swinging. Now I gotta find a bass line that's gonna sit on top of these drums and make it make sense. So then it's like I drop the bass. All right, it makes sense, and then and what I'll do is I keep stacking. And what I do personally, I stack and just make an 8 bar loop. And once I get that 8 bar loop, I start breaking it down into a song mode. And then after I break it down in a certain song mode, then I'll go like, okay, I feel it's cool now. Now I'll put some sprinkles here and there on it. So, that's how the way I do it. Like I'll start with a basis, take it step by step, and I'll play it, listen to it, go back, add a little something, play back, listen to it. Sometimes I might sit on it for a day and like come back with fresh ears and come back and when I get to that certain level, I'll be like, all right, it's cool. Sometime I might have a track that might be fire, and it might be only 5 or 6 tracks. Sometime it might be 20 tracks, but
Mm,
it's all on how you level your sounds. It's all on how you playing your instrumentations, all of those. Because sometimes you don't even need a lot to have a hot song. I mean, you see Mustard. A lot of his shit is very basic. Mike Free, all these cats are like they got a lot of openness to their tracks to where you could jump on it and do anything you want to, and it's still gonna be fire regardless. You know.
mm, right. Okay. So you've been not just a beat maker, but you also you're an artist as well. Can you tell? Do you ghost write as well for individuals?
I mean, I've done some writing and I've done ghost producing too, but I haven't really performed in a while. But I will be having an album that I'll be putting out this year. I'll come back and put out some bars, so be on the lookout for that.
For sure. Is it a title to it?
The title is unannounced right now, but um, I'm um, I'm looking for. I can't remember the name what I wanted to call it. I can't remember the name what I was gonna call it, but I got two of them that I'm coming out with. I'm coming out with a beat album. It's called "Do Something with These Beats," and then I'm coming out with an actual album where I'm gonna be rapping. Oh, that's what it's called. It's called "I'm So Slept On."
Okay.
That's what it's called.
For
So
sure. For
yeah,
sure. For sure. Um, what would you? What like? You hear E40 too short and all of them saying, people say like you've been around 28 years, so it's like you pretty sure you can remember what's the difference between back when you started then and now as far as the music industry? Is it easier or harder? Like what's the complexity of getting into the music industry nowadays?
I think it's I think it's easier now as far as just putting out works. But I mean, it's still hard to make sure that your shit sells the way it's supposed to. You still need a machine behind it, even though if it's easier to put out your own situation, you still need a machine to make it work, to get your name out there, to make yourself known. But I think we had more camaraderie back then, where we were more together. I think a lot of cats now they you know more about like self. You know, a lot
Right,
of cats they more like I did it when they a lot of these cats are looking like they don't have no team behind them, but yeah, you winning because you got a team behind you. You know,
right.
you know, but But it's easier for them to do the promo work too, because they could have people on IG, they can have people on Snapchat, they can have people on TikTok and do all these where, back in the day we had to hit the pavement. We was putting stuff on poles, climbing up poles that's like 15 feet in the air, putting, the promo
Yeah,
posts,
yeah.
and we was doing
Yeah,
shit like that,
on a
3 o'clock
billboards
in
on
the
top of
morning.
buildings and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
hitting it like 3 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Hell
so,
yeah.
so we had to
Hell
hit the
yeah.
paint way harder.
Hell yeah. Um so for up and coming or inspiring individual, when you say team, what would that team consist of in your opinion?
Man, I mean, shit, everybody play their part. You as artist, but you do your thing. You might have a homie that might know some plugs that make the calls. You got a homie that's going might do some artwork. You might have a homie that do beats. You got a homie that know how to invite the ladies to where, the ladies could put your name out there and have people noticing you, all kind of stuff. Everybody play they know their position and play their role. And
Hmm.
it's not hard. It's not hard when you got a team that's behind you and everybody know that they coming together for you to win. Because everybody gonna get a piece of the pie.
Right. Um I be like on Instagram, I be seeing individuals that be like selling like bundles of beats and stuff like that. I mean, for all the effort and work that the hours that I like, I sat back and watched Keek the Sneak just make. I'm talking about. I can't tell you how many beats I done seen that dude just make this from scratch. You know what I mean? And it's a lot to go into that. So, like, how do you value like each beat? Like, when people sell bundles, is they devaluing they art like for I guess what I'm trying to say is like, is a person cheating themselves when they sell them beat bundles, or like what's with that?
Yeah, honestly, I think they are. I mean, the the way they make it now is these kids could go on Splice and go on these pages and we call them dropping low producers where they go on Splice, they go on all these sites, and all they do is get these loops and put loops together and make beats, and then they sell like 100 tracks for like $30. Like, bro, like not you not knowing that you devalue yourself. Not only you devalue yourself, you devalue the whole sense of producers. Where if you was an unknown producer and years ago you was getting 1,500 a track at least. For I know anywhere from 1,500 to almost 5 racks a track.
Okay.
Now they looking at you like, oh, I give you 300. Like, nigga, nigga, I got shit on the radio and shit. You want to give me 300? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they devalue the sense of monetization for beats.
Okay.
You
I
know?
thought I was onto something when it came. I thought I was. It's amazing to hear you say that. That is, I thought so. Everything you saying is something that I pretty much presume. It's like, man, I'm like, that's a lot of effort, man.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and um, time is always of the essence. So, like with yours, like on the average, like in order for a person to get a beat from you, what's the process though? Like,
I mean, the process is just tap in with me. You could tap in with me on IG or you could tap in me on Clubhouse, any of the platforms, and just introduce yourself and, just let me know the real. I mean,
mm-hmm.
if you got 300 and I usually charge a certain price that's higher and you got 300 and you real with your shit, I'll fuck with you. But nigga, don't come up to me wearing some $2,000 off whites and then you talking about you ain't got no money for a track, my nigga. Then nah, we got problems.
Right. I think it was you that had told me this on Clubhouse a while back. You know what I mean? I think I had asked a similar question, and you had said authenticity was the standard of which you will work with anybody. Can,
Oh,
uh, can you elaborate on that?
I fuck with people based on how they are, and you can have you can have all the bread you want, and if I ain't vibing with you, I won't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you got the bread don't mean you're not a fucked up motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like where I'm at in my life now, it's like if I fuck with you, I genuinely fuck with you because you know I feel a cool vibe off of you, not because if you got the bread or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like cats I'm working with right now. Like even they asked me today, like, what made you want to fuck with me? I said, you know, you just got a cool vibe. You know, I'm a good reader of people. So, you know, if you got a good vibe and you authentic and you very like you got a good spirit about yourself, I fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? I
For
don't like
sure.
fake. I don't like fake niggas. I don't like niggas that them type of niggas that where niggas talk about you and they come back and tell you instead of checking a nigga on talking about you. I don't like them type of niggas, you know what I'm saying? I like real
Right.
niggas. I fuck with real niggas, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. What I want to add. So damn, I got this question that took my tongue, man. I got a few on my mind, man. Um, it's an honor having this conversation with you, man. Because me and you, we did, on Clubhouse. You mentioned, you know, all of us on this stage, man. We didn't sat on stage and dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Had a lot of dialogues, man. And you are a very down to earth brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
I
You know,
appreciate it, man.
for sure, man. You know what I'm saying? You one of my favorite people, man. And if it's a lot of different genres. Like as a beat maker, as far as the people you dealing with, like you stretch across many different genres making beats. What's the best genre you like to work with?
Honestly, it would be R&B, R&B and pop most, because the vibe is always there, and the people just be just cool as hell, like we vibe real good. Don't get me wrong, I still like
Mm,
fucking with rap and all that, but my best vibes is when I work with people is R&B and pop.
for sure, for sure. What is your message to the youth? My thing is activism, man. You know what I mean? I like to keep some message to the youngsters out there, man. I'm just up and coming. Like in today's game in the music industry, we seeing, you know what I mean, a lot of rappers getting killed. You know what I mean? It's a lot of death going on. You know what I mean? What do you think about this? This drill culture scene and all of that. What's your take on the drill culture and all of that?
Well, I think that a lot of the drill culture seemed like it come from like crews, so uh, you know, I think that it has to be some way that these cats, young brothers could come together and start creating some truces, because at the end of the day, they all trying to get in, they all trying to win, and it shouldn't be situations like this happening based on some shit that probably don't even make sense for them to be at the eyes of where they at. You know, sometimes a lot of these situations might be for the dumbest reasons. And
Mm-hmm.
they just need to have a sit down. You know, call like the 100 Black Man Caucus or something, or even the nation have a sit down and speak. Because I don't follow the nation, but one thing I love about Islam is that if you have a problem with a man, then you are supposed to sit down and talk to this man and and tell him why you feel a certain way about him instead of slandering his name or trying to take him out based on some BS.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's been a lot of, the rap game used to be a vacation from the streets. I mean, or a way out. You know what I'm saying? But it's like nowadays people bring the streets to the booth. You know what I'm saying? Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I mean, you telling people what you're doing in the songs. You telling your rivals what you gonna do to them in the songs. I mean, you just setting yourself up for a whole bunch of RICO charges. Not only that, but put yourself into situations where if you had to do a show in they neck of the woods, you can't even go because something might happen behind that.
Mm,
So you
absolutely.
gotta you gotta really think. You gotta really think. Be smart about your shit. If you're gonna be gang banging, or if you're gonna be in a crew, or if you're gonna be doing anything like that, be expeditiously about it. Think. Use your wisdom. If you want to be a leader, think like a leader. Don't think like a follower.
Right. Um, do you think do you think a lot of from your view, do you think a lot of these, because a lot of these youngsters, they lead a hood with only the ability to rap. They might not have no leadership skills, but they know how to rap. And somebody saw that talent and, you know what I'm saying, saw an opportunity. Um, what do you think, like an artist or his people uh that cares about that artist, like when they sign to a man, like what should they equip that artist with in order to be successful around him?
Well, you should put them around um, people that's gonna give them motivation to do things outside of what they came from. Uh, Introduce them to things. Uh, Show them how to make their money work for them. Teach them how to buy income property. Rent shit out. Teach them how to conduct themselves in business. Make them get take some business classes. Let them learn that you ain't got to just always just buy a Phantom or buy a Lambo or something. Make your money work for you, because when your time is over, what you gonna look back on? Because
Hmm.
these days the rap careers are short lived.
Literally, literally, because a lot of these rappers are losing their life a whole lot faster as a result of something that they said or in the booth. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? As you alluded to. Yeah.
they can't blame our generation because we only lost Pac and Big. So
Right.
it
Right.
wasn't Cash wasn't dying like that on the daily like how it is now.
Right. Have you ever been connected to a record company since you've been in the industry, or you just work primarily independent?
Nah, I'm pretty much independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the just for the people to know, how was that, how was I'm trying to bring these up real quick.
I don't know. Your
How was
audio's
that?
going. Your audio's going crazy.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but it was like you was in the Matrix or something.
Okay. How do how is it better for a person to work independently? Like, I mean, I know the answer, but I'm just saying for the lay person, you know what I'm saying, versus somebody working with a record company.
Well, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You sign with a major company, and you basically got to work your ass off. You be an independent. You got to work your ass off even more because you're fronting everything yourself. You know, and that's what people got to realize. When you say you independent, that means You're paying for your own promotion. You're paying for your own PR work. You're paying for your own marketing. You're paying for your own beats, everything. So if you're gonna do that, then you're it's gonna be twice as hard. Now, you have people saying, "Oh, I'm independent," but you did have an affiliation with certain like Sony Orchard or whatever. Nah, you're not independent because anytime you have something that's behind you that's major, that's still you're not independent. So yeah, the depiction of independent means everything's coming out of your pocket, not nobody else's pocket. And then when you working dealing with a major, you're getting the money, but you still have to make the money work for you. I think one of the biggest mistakes a lot of cats do is when they get that bonus money, they trick it off, and then they not knowing that that money that they tricking is really the part of their budget. You might have a $500,000 budget and they give you a $25,000 bonus, but that bonus is still part of your budget. So now you only have 475,000 out of that 500,000. So if you're gonna trick it, you might trick like 4 or 5 racks off, and then you know get you a place, get you a little A to B car, get you a little studio in your place, put your start make your shit make sense. So you got something to fall back on, or you can make some revenue off of it. But as well, me personally, I wouldn't. I'd keep my money. I wouldn't use it. Work it. Work my project and make it happen, because the less that you have to do, but at the same time have the mentality to make it work. It's going to be more beneficial for you. And I think we need to tell a lot of these young cats that once you get these record deals, mind you, make your money work for you. Because like people see, oh well, this person got a $2 million record deal. Yeah, but do you know how that really is broken down to? You might get $2 million, but that might be only it might be 6 albums or 7 albums at $250,000 per album.
Mm,
It's not just one album. They give you that much money, it's not going to be one album, especially if you're a new artist. That might be for 3 albums. It might be for 2 albums. It might be for 4 albums. So,
mm,
so that's why you have to really, you really have to make sure that when you get this money, you make that money work for you. And it is a little bit easier because they have an engine behind you. They're going to pay for your promotions. They're going to pay for the promos for the radio play. They're going to pay for the billboards. They're going to pay for all that. So yeah, it's the only thing that might be a little hard is recouping the money back. But the forward motion of it, they can do it faster than you can do it on your own. So I mean, sometimes it might be better to be signed, but there's ways you can get signed and still work it, like 360 deals. You can make it work for you, but it's all on how you delegate yourself. You don't have to sign to what they give you. You get your lawyer to overlook it. You get and everybody to make sure that whatever is right. You X out what you don't like. You put in what you like, and then you keep going to the meetings of the mind till the shit is perfect. So like I said, you have to have the right people in your circle. You have to have the right people that put you in perspective to make the things work. Like I say, me personally, I would probably go the independent route because I know a lot of people. But for the people that don't, signing to a major label is not always a bad thing. Just it's
mm.
all on how you put things in perspective.
Okay. Um. So to add to that, so it's like you saying, because we hear about advances, right?
Yeah,
Is it smart to say that the successful artist who utilize his advance to reinvest in his own um project, more successful because the more he invests that money out, out of his pocket on his own, the less the record company have to pay for him, the more he gets. Am I saying that
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I mean, you have a lot of rappers that never use a lot of money, and look where they at. J. Cole, Chance the Rapper. You know, you got Dolph. You got a lot of cats. So it could be done.
Hmm.
Now look at LaRussell. LaRussell, he turned down deals from Jay-Z and all kind of people. And look at he blowing up. So it can be done.
Most people will get starstruck by that. Uh, what goes into the psyche of an individual, you think, to make that kind of decision? Because most people wouldn't bat an eye, man. They'd jump at that chance. They'd jump out their skin for that chance. So what goes into the psyche of a person that choose to go that route?
To go which route, the independent
Yeah,
or
the turn down an opportunity to work with somebody like Jay Z, but most of the world wouldn't.
well, because that man actually knows his business. He actually sat and read some books. He actually went and took some classes. He actually listened to people in the circles to put him in perspective to think more. A lot of people get fucked over because they come into this business when they meet these people like Jay-Z and Puffy and them. They look at them as fans, and not having the business mindset. They looking like, oh, I'm working with Jay-Z, I'm working Puff, oh, I'm just gonna sign. And they're not
Right.
really taking the initiative to be like, okay, what's this right here? What's this saying right there? I'm not understanding, so I need to figure this out. But they more based on because they're with this person. Oh, they gonna get this bread, they gonna blow up. Nah, it ain't all like that. You gotta have your business mind on as well.
So
It sounds like to me that people are coming in operating out of fear, and the relationship building that you need to do sounds like work. It sounds like people is afraid to go the long route because it's actually going to take more. Is
Yeah,
that
they
is that
are.
what I'm gathering?
They are because come on, if a label tells you you got 2 hours to read this and sign it, are they really in your best benefit?
Absolutely not.
no,
Exactly. And then they sign it out of fear because they think they're not gonna get another chance.
that's a lack of belief in themselves, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
always told never go to the negotiation table on an empty stomach.
Yeah. Because your mindset gonna be poor.
Yeah, I dig that. I dig that, man. Um, so let's say I bought a beat from you.
Hmm.
Is that and I thrive and I pop, I buy a hot beat from you, you know what I'm saying? Make some of it, is making the charts or whatnot. Is that mine, or do no, do you still get some kickback? Is it contract negotiation in the success of that beat?
No, it's kickback. I mean, you own 50% of it. I own 50% of it. You know what I'm saying? You own the
Okay,
writers. You own the writers. I own the music. It's a fifty
okay,
fifty split.
period.
Yeah.
Okay, 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 for sure. So,
Now, if, now
I'm
if you want
glad.
to, if you want to buy me out, then that's another story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Buying me out means that I'm not getting no residuals from it, nothing like that at all. It's all you.
So that would be like a work for hire type of situation, independent contractor, you being the beat maker, right?
Somewhat in loose terms, yeah.
Um. So we talked about earlier the person who sells these bundles of beats. So those people, are they getting 50% of what? Like if I bought a bundle and I made, if I bought a bundle with 10 and I made five and I made them 10 pop, is that all me, or is that person who sold that bundle getting 50% of each one of those beats?
Well, see, here's the sad thing about it. Those cats that make those type of beats really don't give a fuck. That's the sad part. They just doing it because they just want to do it. Now you have some cats that do it that be really into it and they think that's what you got to do. Send like 100 beats out and this, and that to people. Nah, you don't. I could send you 10 beats, and I guarantee you gonna at least take half of them. You know what I'm saying? I tell people
Hmm.
I don't send 30 and 40 beats out. Nah, it's not me because
Yeah. No, I was
what
saying like,
happens.
no, go ahead, go ahead. I cut you off. Excuse me.
No, it's cool because what happens is when you keep sending beats out like that, you know. So what? So let's say that person you send 40 beats out, right? That person might
Hmm.
pick five, but then he got the other ones he just throw to the side. It's a messed up situation because now, like, what if his homies might want them beats? Now you got cats that's putting out songs to your music, and you got no access to them.
Okay, so this draws me to the next question. I somehow, for some reason, I can't get over that first pack of beats that you lost. So I need to know, did somebody remix those? Did you hear some of those sounds? Anybody re-rock your original beats that came up missing on the hard drive or so-called got erased?
Nah, they didn't. That nigga was so cold. He just erased all my shit.
Damn.
Wow, wow, wow. I know that. I know you had to be hot on that, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I wanted to take flight on him, but my homies was like, "Nah, don't do it."
saying? Yeah. Well, did he thrive? I mean, like, did he, like, what is his state right now?
He
Right.
he he doing beats for B list rappers.
Okay, okay, okay. Well,
So
that speaks for itself. Karma
he
came
ain't
and got him.
yeah, he ain't doing shit, man.
Okay. Um. So for the bundle sellers, like what I was getting at earlier, like if I bought a bundle, like some dude sent me a email, and it was a bundle of beats for $5, and some of them was actually pretty cool. So let's say one of those bundles, I think can be bundles had like 5 to 10 beats in them. If
Hmm.
I made all 10 of those beats pop and they hard, and you know what I'm saying, I made something out of those beats. Is that dude entitled to anything that I make of those beats?
It all depends. If he did he give you any paperwork stating what you can do with them as far as that?
Nope.
And
It was just straight across. You buy these beats with this cash app or
hmm,
however. I forgot exactly his method of payment because I didn't get nothing from him. I just listened to him, um but it was just a straight across payment.
well, I mean that's all you then. I mean,
Okay.
but then it all comes to where your morals is at. You know, then you
Yeah.
have to think about that because it's like Little Nas X bought the beat for Old Town Road from this dude off of YouTube for $250. You already know where that song went. But
Hmm.
what was solid about him is he went back and gave the dude some racks on top of that and his publishing. So he didn't have to do it, but he did it just to make his shit right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, karma's a motherfucker. Both
Yeah,
ways. Hell
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, so that goes into what you said earlier about the authenticity of a person's character though. So yeah, yeah. I mean that's why I always say respect is mandatory, man.
yeah,
It
most
take you
definitely.
everywhere. Um
Okay.
Go ahead, Z.
Real quick. Yeah. So I want to know, in the studio, who was the last individual that actually inspired you or pushed you to where, it brought something out of you, and it maybe even changed or adapted your style, or your approach to sound?
Um, I would say it would be it would be Dre, It'd be Dre. It'd be Timberland, and yeah, Dre, Timberland, and who else would it be? I would say DJ Premier. Yeah.
When did you work
Okay.
with them?
Oh no, no, I'm saying. Oh, I thought you was asking me. Oh, which one would bring out? Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so we
I guess I heard that wrong. I don't know if yeah.
yeah, no, so okay, so we got that from an inspirational standpoint, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about like cooking up, like you live, like oh yeah, we you know what I mean? He showed me this loop, or he showed me a way to act, you know.
Oh man, it'll probably be my boy. It'd probably be my boy. 88 Keys. Like uh, he do a lot of beats for like Pooh Shiesty and I think he did like Moneybag Yo and like he like he be keeping me up on my thing like that too. Like we be on Clubhouse sometime. All of us we be doing a live cookout. We call it the cookout. And we be all on there just making beats like one person to be like do the drums, another person might do the bass, another person might do keys, and we be chopping it up like that. While we chilling having some drinks, but we all on there, making it happen all at one time.
That sounds
So
so live.
Hey,
Hey,
yeah,
you
that
gotta
yeah,
sound
release
dope as
that shit
fuck.
for me.
Yeah, you definitely gotta
yeah,
share that one to me, man.
yeah, definitely.
Pig me on that one. So you're a West Coast. I mean, you're a West Coast artist. You know what I'm saying? In this scene, that been around for 28 years, man. You saw a lot. You know, who's the? We had this discussion last night on Clubhouse too. Um, give us your top five and why.
Hmm. Um, I mean, you know what? I really don't have a top five, but I could give you five. You know,
Okay,
Well, definitely Pac, because it's charisma. Not only that,
I'm
it's
talking.
charisma. That
Not that's how. That's another question. I was talking about as far as beat makers and producers.
oh, beat makers and producers. My top five, would be Dre. Would be Timberland. Uh, it would.
Timberland West Coast.
Oh, you talking about West Coast?
Yeah,
Okay, it'd be Dre. It'll be DJ Quick. Um, who else it'd be? It'll be I like Mike Free, Mike
okay.
Free, um, Battle Cat. Gotta have Battle Cat and my guy uh G1. It'd be probably be a slash between the last two. Probably be a tie. G1 and Warren Campbell, and they both came out of Quick Camp.
Okay. Who do you
Okay,
who
no,
do you go now? Go ahead, Z.
yeah, I was gonna say name some notable songs that can what you said Noah Campbell was a part of.
Warren Campbell.
Yeah.
Well, Warren Campbell pretty much was on everything Quick did on the Safe and Sound album,
Mm,
and
Where
and
that
and the Rhythmalism album. That's
oh,
him and Warren Campbell.
those bangers too.
Yeah.
Those bangers.
okay, did you get a chance to work with any Bay Area producers at all?
Nah. I the ones I would love to work with is Rick. I would love to work with Rick Rock. I would love to work with Ed Banks and who else? Is it Shorty B?
Yep.
Yeah, Shorty B. Yeah, I love to work with them three.
Okay,
Um.
so go ahead.
Uh. I had asked you about. Yeah. You mentioned Rick Rock. I always thought Rick Rock was slept on. But
Yeah.
what do you what do you think about like Rob Lowe and Droopy and June on the beats?
Um, I think Junior on the Beach is hard. You know, I like him. He cool. Droopy, dope as fuck. You know, but I don't know. He got his own flavor. And the other guy, Rallo, uh,
Yeah, Rob Lowe. Yeah, he produced a
Rallo,
lot of the
yeah,
Rob Lowe. He produced a lot of the Jacker, the Mob Figures, and other Nah, he ain't he was just bad. He got a catalog from people all over though, but
yeah,
primarily he produced a lot of the Mob Figure shit though.
yeah. He cool too. But the cast that I listen, that I want to, I feel them more. And what's homeboy name? Fresh.
Oh, DJ Fresh, yeah, DJ
DJ
Fresh for
Fresh.
sure,
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely DJ Fresh for
yeah.
sure, for sure.
So them cats
What
right
about
there, man.
what about any other like Southern California, like some San Diego producers like Issei Uno or Elo or Cricket? Have you run across any of them and cooked
Nah, I
up with
never.
them?
Nah, I never ran across to them. But I do like. It was a dude that I think is Mitchy Slick from out there too, but he not a producer, he a rapper. But I never met any of the producers from San Diego. I actually, it's funny. I used to live in San Diego, and um, I don't know how old you guys are, but it used to be a group that I used to run with. And, like I used to do production with them. It was called the Insomniacs.
I heard of them. I heard of them before. I'm
Yeah.
42, so I
Oh,
heard of them.
okay. Yeah. So my guy was Philly Blunt. So he was one of the cats in the group. So like when I lived in San Diego, I had linked up with them. But that's the only cast that I've done any production with that was producers from out there. But I never got a chance to really deal with anybody else.
Yeah, some
Okay,
of the producers like Cricket and Elo, Batcave Studio, stuff like that. They was kind of doing some of those early projects that you referencing with
Oh,
Slick.
okay, for sure. Oh, okay, yeah, I wouldn't mind because I like some of the shit Mitchy Slick got, so I wouldn't mind meeting up with them.
all right. I see we got some people in here. If anybody in the comments got any questions for Nutty P, feel free, to chime in, like, share, and subscribe to your guy. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate the support. We got Nutty P Beats in the building. You know what I'm saying? One of the West Coast's finest beat makers, man. You know what I'm saying? My brother, my partner on here, man. We be on Clubhouse, vibe it all the time, man. And I just had to, to me, he a legend, man. You know what I mean? He one of the unsung heroes or legends, man. You know what I'm saying? Of this era. He been around, man, for 28 years, man. That's a lot of longevity right there, man. If you only knew, um uh damn, I don't know what happened. He fell off, but I'm gonna keep it going just in case he come back until he come back. But um that's that's a lot of longevity right there, man. Let me bring you back up. 1 second. There we go.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what happened.
Oh yeah. Excuse. Yeah. But no, it's an honor to have you on this platform, man. You know what I mean? We building here in the Ghost regime, man. You know what I mean? We up and coming, but authenticity is everything, man. You know what I mean? I wanna have you know what I mean, a pretty much a catalog when people look at this page on YouTube, I'm on, or even on Clubhouse, man. I want them to see, quality, man. To me, you're a quality dude, man. You know
Oh
what I
man, I
mean?
appreciate it, man. And
For sure.
anything that you need for help, man. I got an abundance of artists that I could turn you on to fuck with. So just let me know.
Oh,
I'll tap
definitely.
in
I
with you
mean,
and let you know.
any of them, you know what I mean, that that need to get out there. You know what I mean? I'm more than open, man, and having them on the stage, man. You know what I mean? My thing is getting more, doing more. getting more on here, man. You know, it's work to be done. You know my situation, man. So you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
It's building, man. You know everything I'm capable of doing, I'm doing. I ain't waiting for nothing. You
Oh
know what I
man.
mean. Uh, Z's, you got because we've been rocking for an hour, and I don't want to hold it too much longer though. So you got anything? You got any other question for bro?
Yeah, I was
Go ahead.
I was wondering, like I hear legendary producers, of course, like Quick and Dre, the more notable ones, but like I hear names, legendary stuff, DJ Pooh, I hear like Jelly Roll, and like is there anybody that you look at as a pioneer of some sounds that doesn't really get the recognition that they may deserve? And if so, you want to state some names so they can get their flowers.
I would definitely say Jelly Roll. You know, Jelly Roll doesn't get the props that he should get. Jelly Roll, Battle Cat don't really get the props. I mean, everybody know who he is. He loved on the West Coast, but they really don't know how his name really stretch all over. It's just not in Cali, you know. Um, I would say, DJ Pooh, you know, underestimated. You know, I think even Rick Rock for all the stuff that he's done, he's still, you know, underestimated. You know, he don't get the flowers. I mean, shit, that nigga did change the game for Jay-Z. Shit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That for sure.
And he still don't get the flowers he deserved. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think that they look at us that like we one dimensional, but the funny thing is we more musically inclined than other areas. You know what I'm saying? Because come on, most Cali cats, we come from the church, so we playing drums, we playing keys, we doing all that shit. You know what I mean? So we don't get that look. I guess they look at us that we just one dimensional cats, but we really not. Like every cat that I've named can do hip hop and R&B, all kind of shit, not just one realm of music.
All
For
right,
sure.
okay. So now let me ask you a question about transitional sounds, like how they had house music at a point that was real big, um, and dubstep and things of that nature, techno. You know how big that was in areas like Chicago and L.A., D.C. So, or with the go-go music and some spin-off musics. Now, are there any like like uh forms of those music that you tapped into to just play around with to see if you could, you know, have some of your expertise, pay off?
Yeah, I've done EDM. Um, I've done the juke music. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've done that. I mean, I love house, but I really haven't done any house. I've done some dubstep music before too. So, like I say, I like all forms of music, and I like to like tap into them. Like I say, I just don't want to be focused on one particular type of music. I like to hit them all. Like I said, I was born and raised to listen to different type of music, so I've always had an open mind to want to tap into something. Like recently, I've been doing some Afro beats. They've been coming out real fly too. So like I just love music.
Man, I always thought about that too. If they would take something like Afro beats and put like a hip hop bass spin to it, something that's thumping, what I mean, some beats that's knocking. I think that'll be hard. But I don't see the blend. Like I don't really see people blending it. They kind of leaving them independent of each other. But I just always thought that, man, if we could blend and cross over, the hip hop sound into some of those Afro beats, it'd be over with.
Oh yeah, it's possible. You just got to take the chance and do it. Somebody will do it. You know what I'm saying? That's just like I mean, you see people doing drill with R&B now. So where you would never hear that before, and it sounded good as hell. So
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. I don't know them Chicago rappers are notorious for that, man. I'm talking about them things be hot.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah, I've been really checking that out. Let me see. What what are some artists that you want to work with in the future? I don't know if we asked that question already, but
no, no, you didn't, you
what
didn't. I
what
would
artists?
love, I would like to work with Ty Dolla $ign. Definitely would want to work with Breezy. Um, I would like to work with Ari Lennox, Jasmine Sullivan, like the types. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
who else? I on the rapping side, I would like to work with like Roddy Rich. Um, that I would like to work with Future.
Do you
Uh,
consider Roddy Rich a rapper or R&B singer? I don't know how to characterize it, man.
no, he a
Cause he
rapper,
could,
man.
cause he do. I mean, I'm talking about he hard. He hard. I fuck with it like that. Down for real and and that down below. Oh man, them
Yeah,
two, them classics right there, man.
yeah,
But
I
it's
see you
like,
like melody. I see you like
yeah,
melody.
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, that man.
Okay,
yeah.
well, hey,
Anything that has a good melody, man, I love it.
okay, so are you into like or have you ever taken any like orchestral conducting classes, anything like that before?
Mm-mm, never. Everything I've done, I just self-taught, bro.
Okay, so what's your favorite instrument to produce beats on currently?
I'm just using Logic and Ableton now, but I still have my MPCs. That was the first thing I ever used, and I still use it on some of my tracks to this day.
Hmm.
Or is the MPC being slept on by the youngsters?
By the youngsters, they are, but I mean, Jermaine Dupri still has one. Battlecat still use his. Quick still use his. Rick Rock still use his. It's a lot of people that still use them.
Hey, quick one of them few people. I mean, I used to be at first. I used to be like Drake, my favorite top one, right? But it's like now, as I sit here, it's like Quick is my number one, in my opinion, to me, because it's like he one of the few people I know, man, can just from scratch like how you mentioned everything about the instruments when Z's asked that
Yeah,
question. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Quick is one of them dudes, man, and you
Man,
don't know too many people that can do that, man.
yeah. But
What you
quick,
think about
quick,
that?
but quick can actually play instruments. That's why his musicality is so much on that kind of groove side because he actually plays instruments, just like
Yeah,
Battlecat. Battlecat plays instruments.
yeah, Quick
yeah.
Art, man. He one of my favorites.
Yeah,
But you mentioned cats like DJ Premier. That's a real treacherous East Coast sound. So I'm
yeah.
just I'm just curious how or what time period in your life did you start dibbling dabbling in the East Coast sound? Was it from the beginning, or did
It was,
that kind of develop
it was
later?
from it was from the beginning because you got to think West Coast cats. All we had was East Coast music growing up in my era. You know what I'm saying? There was no West Coast acts until Toddy T and Mixmaster Spade, and then from them two, you had Ice T, you had you had the World Class Wrecking Crew. What was Dre before he became NWA? Him and Miss Chalet and DJ Unknown, and you had Ice T, and you had all these cats, and they started trickling down from then to King T,
Oh, that's
and
what World Class Wrecking Crew consisted of. Dre, Michelle A, and somebody else.
yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
and you start coming out with like King T, and that's when DJ Pooh was coming out producing. You had NWA, and it started trickling down after a while. But from the gate, has always been East Coast music that we had to listen to when it came to rap.
So, man, I don't know, man. It's like it take a special art, man, to be able, and it take patience too, man. You gotta, you know, you coming from being, like you say, you got into the beat making element of it by accident. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much by way of self preservation. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah,
like like man, fuck these dudes, man. I'm gonna figure this shit out on my own, man. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I mean? It just stuck to it, man. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
that's I mean, and to be able to be look back at it 28 years later, what would you say? You know what I mean? Like I mean, like was this journey a long one, or is it something that you say that flew by, man? You know,
Well, I tell you, when you walk a righteous path, it's a long journey.
right? You take the
So
long hard road, yeah.
when you take the long hard road, it's well worth it, man. You know, I can say that I never gave my soul up for this shit.
Real holla,
You know,
real holla.
I still was able to be blessed with a house. I was able to still be blessed with nice whips. You know, and I still got my sanity.
Straight up,
You
straight
know
up.
what I find. You know what I find interesting is that from the dawn of music as we know it, like in the Americas, right? You had places like New Orleans who dealt with the jazz and gave us jazz. You had Mississippi who gave us the blues. You had Memphis also. You know, and you got your Harlems, your Chicago's, your Oaklands, the cities that's filled with us. Um, but at the end of the day, man, they classify that as soul music, and I hear a lot about this industry about selling a soul, selling your soul. But it seemed like everything we have, everything we give, when you putting your beats on the music, that's almost like your soul. You know what I'm saying? We're creating soul, and we like pushing soul, and we peddling soul. Now I don't know if that really translates, and I don't know if I'm communicating that effectively, but it's just something that you being a producer, this your baby. This something you took. It came from your essence. So when you said that earlier, I just thought about it like, wow, okay, man. I wonder how you feel about this.
Well, I could understand what you're saying, and to me, I could feel it's not selling your soul, but it's giving you a sense of one's soul,
Mm,
showing you the authenticity of that soul, the where that the musicality that take you in a place coming from the soul, like because music also c- creates a sense of spirit. So you have some music that'll have you turned up. You have some music that'll have you in a calm, cool state. So however your spirit is, it's gonna be in that music.
right.
Hmm. Hell yeah.
You know.
Uh, hey, we gonna go ahead and wrap this up, right? 'Cause I don't know. I want to make sure the StreamYard record this thing, but P, when we get off here, and I'm going probably gonna open up a room on a club, so I see you on there, bro. But I definitely appreciate, man, you coming on here. We definitely got to get you back on here, man. And do a follow up. Um, as far as the artists you got, you know what I'm saying. Bro, we can definitely line that up whenever, man. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying, and get them
definitely.
on here, and I mean, I
Real
can't even
quick.
say enough about my brother Z's been on here with me. Go ahead, Z's.
Yeah, hey, real quick. Hey, do us a favor, Nutty P, man. Let us know how if an artist would like to work with you, how they're gonna get in touch with you, and is there a better or best way to do that?
Yeah, they can tap in with me on IG, um, Nutty P Beats Official, or you can tap in by email official Nutty P Beats at gmail.com. If you hit me up on IG, just come correct. Don't be like, hey, yo, let's collab. None of that shit. Just introduce yourself. My name is such and such. I want to work with you. Can we chop it up? And see where we could meet at the mines from getting a beat from me or whatever. But don't come with the yos and the what's up and all that. I won't even answer that shit, bro. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up on to have proper etiquette when you want to tap in with a producer.
Just come correct, man.
Hey,
Come
that's
correct and
game.
be
That's
you, man.
game.
For sure. Much
Yeah.
appreciated, man. Thank you for the viewers, man. To everybody, man, that may watch this. Like, share, subscribe to your guy, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is what we doing. This is what we own, man. You know what
Let's
I'm
go
All
hard.
saying?
right.
Gratitude is the attitude, man.
Much love to you,
Much
my
love.
brothers. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on here.
Salute, Nutty P.
Absolutely,
Bring
man.
back
All right.
Thank you,
Salute.
man. Look, holler
All
at
right,
y'all
for
soon,
sure.
man.
Nutty
We out.
P.
All right. Peace and blessings.